What's up, hey, it's John. Thanks for tuning in. It is the 6th of March, Sunday, 5:58 p.m. and 55 seconds. Now it's 5:58 p.m. and 59 seconds. Now it's just 6 o'clock. I'm sorry, 5:59. Jumping ahead. Yeah, so let's wait a few seconds until it's 6 o'clock, all right? We ain't gonna do all that. But I'm gonna tell you that I'm not gonna like stand here for just have you look like this out of my face like for 30 more seconds anyway. I found out melanin is actually a pretty big deal. You know? Melanin is basically the basis of life, in a sense. Melanin in chemistry form is what in the world? It's carbon. You know, all forms of life starts with carbon. That's the main form of life. And melanin itself, that in chemistry form, that is carbon. You know, melanin. It means literally, you know, well, the most recent definition I've heard, dark. It means a stain. It means, you know, darkness, a stain. It's ugh. Now, of course, the simplest thing of melanin, which melanin is known for. It's known for skin pigmentation. Pigmentation. God, pigmentation. Anyway, pigmentation. Pigmentation of the skin, the pigment of the skin. Preferably people like me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The darker you are, said that like you have more. Oh snap! Yeah, you have more melanin in your skin, or a higher melanin content, or ability to produce more melanin within yourself. Melanin, I'm learning how powerful it is. You know, literally it is the basis of life. It has to do so much. If you talk about biology, you have to talk about melanin. But I never heard of melanin in biology class. When I taken biology sophomore year, they never mentioned melanin. Never. And guess what? The next year in chemistry, melanin is heavily also involved with fucking chemistry. It is. I'm gonna just say this. Actually, an interesting little fact. So 666. Take that number 666, and then take the number 166. All right, some ducks are starting to come to me again. Yeah, here's some little. They're starting to come to me or whatever. They're so beautiful. I mean, you can just like, if you can just like see the green on them, you know, just see the green. Oh, but this camera sucks. Anyway, 666 is known to be the number. What is it? God damn it. I just recently looked up on this morning. Either it's the, okay, it was like the ducks or like whatever. Anyway, whatever. 666. I believe 6 has to do with like the amount of carbon that you have, or I know it's sad. It's like, how is he on here? You don't know what the hell he's talking about. Okay, let me just get it right. Chemistry, right? Some of the most basic things I remember learning in chemistry was about protons. Dang, I'm messing everything up. Protons. I know what I want to say. Protons. Look at these ducks. Anyway, protons. Hey, and there's a little turtle again. Protons, neutrons, electrons. Correct? Right. Those are some of the basic things we learned. Especially having to do with, and if you want to look at a biological standpoint of it, it was even mentioned here and there in my class as far as the development of certain cells. You know, the nucleus and everything like that about the cells. And what is that? Prokaryotic cells and unicellular cells, all that stuff. You remember that stuff? Yeah, that's biology. But as far as the chemical level of it, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. That is basically the human form. all of that requires a human form. Now, 166 is an inhumane form. But again, both of these things, both of those numbers, like I said, the 166 and 666, they have to do with melanin. They really do, and I didn't know that. I'm just learning that melanin has actually a lot to do with life. I mean, I'm upset, but then again, learning the revelations of white people and why they do what they do and how they handle black people, you know what I'm saying? It's not so surprising. It's not so, even though it upsets me, I can't be too upset because it makes sense. Now that I'm starting to wake up and realize the things that white people do and have done to black people and the reasons for them. Because you see, like I said, in biology class, they never mentioned the word melanin, but see, they would come up with special fancy terms to basically give melanin, and because melanin, it changes forms, it adapts. That's just naturally what it does, and that's why it's so special and so essential. Really, when you say evolution, that's really talking about melanin and its adaptations. Really, how it's changed, how it's learned to form and grow and adapt in different situations, different temperatures, different environments, of everything that it needs to. But again, those are the special words that they caked on, that they switched around and replaced when it came to melanin, because they don't want to teach, certainly not those other white kids, about melanin, because it's like, that's going to get them stirred up. But of course, why would they release to us the certain powers that we as black people hold? They wouldn't do that. All those special terms they came up with was really certain ways of saying melanin. This is the different form of melanin. This is melanin when it does this. This is melanin at its simplest form. But no, they would give it other words, other terms. They would just say, these certain cells do this. But they wouldn't describe that, again, at the and this is somewhat how biology and chemistry somewhat tie together. They wouldn't say, as far as the chemistry level, this simple phrase, these cells carry these other cells here. These cells do this. Those are simple phrases. On a chemistry basis, they wouldn't tell you, actually, this is melanin. Again, very, very, very strong product. This is melanin changing form. This is melanin attaching to this protein and wrapping around this other particle to basically change its form. See, they wouldn't say that. On the chemistry level, they wouldn't say, this is really melanin when it's wrapping around this other particle. This is melanin when it's attaching to this other protein. They wouldn't do that. I actually found out that melanin in itself, DNA itself, like that DNA strand, remember, like that double helix? That itself has a lot to do with melanin too, because that's really melanin that has attached to certain proteins, and that attaches to other particles. And then what do you have? You have like this kind of, again, this attachment. You remember learning about, like I said, just think of the double shape of the double helix, like those rung ladders, right? Basically, it'll twist it around. You have, it's literally like a ladder. It's literally a ladder. Think of a ladder, and obviously just twist it around certain points, and then bam, you have the DNA depiction, basically. Maybe someone's like, yes, we know this. I remember how it was in biology class. They didn't say, again, I'm just, my teachers, they never mentioned melanin. And like I said, when I found all this stuff out, how much melanin has to do with life, I was pretty pissed. Then again, with the things I've been learning about white people and how they've learned to gain control and how they've done this and that, especially as far as black people, it's not so surprising. But if anything, it keeps me going. It allows me to keep on searching, to keep researching, and keep learning about my history. Real history, not that bullshit mess they want to. No. Because again, just like with this, melanin wasn't mentioned. And melanin is very, very, very essential to life. Wasn't mentioned in biology or in chemistry. Why would they do that? The same thing in history. Why would they mention that we just got finished learning about the Holocaust? Why would they mention that the Holocaust basically started with Africans? It did start with Africans, because you can look it up. The Blue Shark event, Kaiser's Holocaust. I think it's like Kaiser's Holocaust. Kaiser or Kaiser. You know, it's a German emperor, I believe, in a certain time period. Basically, how Kaiser, he had what was it? He had studied the ways of evolution, Charles Darwin, and basically picked up on Darwin's theory that, you know, species has to continue on, has to survive, has to migrate in order to survive, because that's his way of adapting. You know, if you don't expand, you know, if you don't keep migrating and spreading out, then your race will eventually, you know, die out or whatever, because, you know, or you'll be weaker and you'll be more susceptible to certain things happening to you, certain weak parts of your natural, because how your race, how your species naturally is. You're going to have weak parts of you. But unless you migrate out, and unless you know, mix with this and mix with that and do this and that, then you see, like, you're never going to have certain adaptations. In other words, you're never going to evolve to get stronger. So Kaiser, he basically read up on some of Darwin's theories. And then Kaiser, also being this this emperor that I believe he was, if I remember correctly, he had during the war, since he was like a emperor or whatever of, I believe it was like Germany at the time, he had taken Adolf Hitler, because again, Adolf Hitler under his wing as far as war is concerned. And then I remember that was mentioned in history class. Some other guy said, wasn't Adolf Hitler a soldier? Now, before the boy, a white boy, had spoken up about that, the teacher, he was going on, he wasn't going to say anything about it. Anyway, then the teacher's like, oh yeah, he was. Adolf Hitler, he was a soldier. The ducks are back. Anyway, the teacher was like, he was a soldier. He had fought into the war in, like, what was it, 1922? And that's exactly what the other website about, the Shark Island, I believe, that's what it's called. It's a region in Africa, like the tip of Africa, like North Africa or whatever. And the people, the Africans I'm talking about, are called, like, the blue sharks. But anyway, yeah, man, the methods that they use on the Jews, to be honest, the people who were doing it were German Jews at the time. This is before Hitler started his reign and really started to police Jews and everything like that. This is before that happened. So German Jews, they were free and they were allowed to do certain things. I'm sorry, y'all, I can't help it. They were allowed to do certain things. And one of the main things that... Oh, they're liking that. They're really liking that. One of the main things that they had done... I'm talking about the ducks, that's what else. Anyway, the main things that they had done early on in the beginning, before the same methods of torture were done to them. Torture and ways of just slaughtering them were done to them. They went to Africa and they experimented on Africans to do it. I mean, why not, you know? But again, you know, because who really gives a fuck about black lives? Anyway, I'm just saying, these cycles, it's there, and it's there throughout history, and this is something that I just had to learn. I learned this over the weekend, again, on my own. That's fucking ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? I'm in a place of learning, right? But see, that learning, the things that I'm learning, they're not for me. They're not for me. Like I said, and like I've been saying, like I've been noticing, I am in a system that does not want me as a black person. I am in a system that is not made for me anyway. It really isn't. It isn't made for me. It's not. Someone's going to probably, well, I mean, well, you can't say that just based on, like, history. All you can do is try to improve and try to make things better now. And, don't give up, because not all people like that. Oh, no, fuck you. My way of handling this shit is getting away from you psychopaths. That's my fucking way of handling shit. We'll just ruin everything. Yeah. This is me waking up right now. From this, everything's beautiful. We can all share. Everyone's friends to each other. They know racism, it's gone, because it's not how it used to be, right? You're not lynching us left and right. When in reality, that shit just isn't on the news. There's just so much that's been taken away from me. But again, it's just learning about these things here and there, like new things I'm learning about African history and about other parts of the world who have also been colonized and divide and conquer, right? Really, by the Europeans. Because again, like I said, they wanted to expand. They had to, quote, survive, right? Or else they had to expand, migrate. They had to adapt. They had to take this country's resources because their country didn't have this amount of resources. Then why not have the people of that land work for you? You know what I'm saying? Work for you and do work and all this mess and build off the resources that you're taking from their land anyway. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Hell, the workers are there already, and that's exactly what a lot of events in European history has taught me. Again, I'm looking this shit up on my own, so I'm going to a place of learning. I'm sitting in that fucking history class. They isn't teaching me shit because this shit that I had to learn about the Holocaust, they didn't say that, and they're not going to. You understand? Why would they say that? Again, why would they give me upper hand? They're not going to do that. They're going to keep me in this brainwashed system where the truth is never actually told. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the first time. You know what I'm saying? It's not the first time in a history class that I've been duped. Because guess what? I've been in many history classes, social studies classes. No one ever mentioned this shit. I had to find this out on my own. My history is taken. It is removed from me. I do not know about myself. And guess what? When I don't know about myself, when I do not know about myself, that means that you can make me however the hell you want to make me. And I'm finally starting to wake up, baby. And I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this shit. I am. Oh, he's cute. Oh, this is cute. He's mad. No, fuck that. Really. Oh, he's getting mad. Yeah. Fuck, I'm pissed. But God forbid have me be an angry black man, right? God forbid you get shot. They have a suspicion of you either way. Suspicion will be there if you look like me. Suspicion will be there either way. It's just the behaviors and even sometimes just the way you dress that depends on whether or not you're going to get shot that day. Because of the suspicion, whether you're dressed, more street or whether you're dressed more European, Negropean or whatever. Maybe someone's like, European, Negropean. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, fine. You can look around or whatever. The differences of style. Doesn't matter how much money you have. Doesn't matter how you talk. What way you're dressed. No. The suspicion of you is always going to be there. And although you may learn how to maneuver through certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to be real. This video is already long anyway, so just to be real. My thing was... I made a video a while ago, 30-70. 30% white's fault, the system. I'd say the system is included in also non-other white as long as non-black races, And then 70% our fault, mainly because, and our number was so high, my explanation of that is because we keep doing certain things to ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We keep following these patterns. We're bringing this stuff on and we don't seem to mind, you know what I'm saying? We don't seem to mind it. Even after someone points it out, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. We're like, well, whatever. I'm gonna do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. I thought my way of changing the black community was going to be, I'm going to have businesses. That's what I'm going to do. From my welding, from my environmental science work with purifying water in different areas for the animals and also as well as people, I've decided, maybe even like set design, whatever, making like little models or whatever, just whatever. From incorporating the skills that I have, things that I love to do, things I'm actually good at doing, things that I plan on doing when I go to college, whatever, I'm going to make a business. And from that business, I don't know how to start out. I don't know how to start out with a business. I really don't. I know that with my, because I don't have shit. I don't have a lot of money. I'm going to have to go to be honest, a lot of white fucks and try to ask them for money. Because really think about it, who has the power? Who really does have the money? You know what I'm saying? It ain't us. So that means I'm going to have to go to a bunch of, white corporation or some kind of white company anyway and ask them for money to get my start. Let's just be real. I see that as basically the only way that my business is going to get started, from the ground up, because I don't have anything. I don't have my own building. I don't have permits. I don't have documents, and I don't have money to start a business, to operate the lights and to operate the maintenance and to operate the workers, and I don't. So anyway, I probably knew that would be how things would have to go. I'd have to, ask basically whites for the money to get started anyway. Then from there, I would build off, have my business be successful. And then I would expand and have more businesses and more businesses. Then from there, from all the money, revenue that I was creating from those businesses that I would branch out, that would be spread out, I would take that money, put it back into the black community, you know what I'm saying? Put it into these HBCUs, put it into colleges, make libraries for ourselves, which actually has our own fucking history in it. You know what I'm saying? Books that have, books about us, our history, as well as where we are now and how we continue to, thrive. And the things we need to do, in order to continue to survive and thrive. Create our own libraries, our own hospitals, our own parks and playgrounds for our own children. Especially playgrounds where they won't be just playing around and then they get shot. Safe neighborhoods, things like that. That's what I was going to do to help the black community, as well as speak on issues within the black community because of the black community, and issues, yes, because of the system. But I've been awoken even further. It really that's good. You know what I'm saying? What's really the harm in trying to put money back into the black community? What's the harm in trying to put money into the black community? I should say. I don't know about back into, because I know I have to do more research, but I don't know of a time where, the black community here, where we actually had a lot of money anyway. I know that as far as indigenously, from an indigenous standpoint, we do happen to come from some sort of wealth as African people anyway. I actually read a few weekends ago, Africa has a lot of metals. We produce a lot of the world's metals that are used every day, as well as cereal. I didn't know that, but that struck me, you know what I'm saying? But metals, of course, as far as the land's natural resource of gold and diamonds and everything like that. But you know what I realized? That, like I said, that's good. Well, what's wrong with wanting to put money into the black community? It seems logical. You put in money, you help build things up. Again, I have a theory of how I'm going to start building my business anyway, of how all that crap is going to start, but I heard actually running your own business is pretty damn hard, but hey, if that's the life I gotta live, that's the life, you know what I'm saying? That's how it's gotta be, that's how it is. Do what you gotta do. But, I just know that living in the way that, and I did used to think like this too, I used to. Oop, battery's getting low, sorry about that. I used to think like this, it's like, okay, let me just do me, you know what I'm saying? Blacks aren't changing anyway. This is how I used to think, blacks aren't going to change anyway, you know what I'm saying? Seems like majority of blacks, they don't care, and they're out here, they're still doing it, whatever, that 30-70, like I said. The number is so high on our account because blacks are still out here, they're still giving into this, most of them are still brainwashed anyway, they're not going to come out of that brainwashed state. But to be honest, some of the things that I think now about white people and just the whole damn issues, these are things I never would have said before. Again, because I would have, I tried to keep myself from that. I said, no, they wouldn't do that. They don't think that way of us. We're past those times, you know what I'm saying? Things are good. It's black people who need to stop doing this, you know what I'm saying? If blacks will stop doing this, things will get, things will get better. But to be honest, I've woken up a bit. It really doesn't matter how much money I have. Like I said, I was going to basically, say, well, screw them. They don't care, so why should I? You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep all my money for myself. If I do end up getting a business of my own or whatever, keep all my money for myself. Make sure my children and my children's children are taken care of. Make sure that they rise to success. Make sure they're never on the down low, like black people tend to be and tend to stay. My children, their children's children, and their children after them, and so on and so forth. Teach them the business. Pass the business down. Anyway, I know that it's not going to alleviate what's put on me as a black person anyway. It's really not. That money's going to help me maneuver. This is what I learned from Ghazi. That money is going to help me maneuver through the system better. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to alleviate what happens, things that happen to me. It's still not going to keep my children from going through certain things. You know what? And a good example, actually, of this. Someone's going to be like, well, that's on TV. It happens. It happens. It happens. It happens. What is it? Fuck. Chris Rock himself. You know what I'm saying? I've heard that Oprah, you know what I'm saying, she goes to a place and she goes to a place and she still gets followed around, you know what I'm saying? People still want to act like they don't know who she is. Like they never heard of her, even though Oprah, she's pretty common. People who are successful, who have, said to have made it, they're still followed around in stores and shit. It doesn't matter. Again, because the hand that you're dealt, the ways that you're treated, it is not alleviated. If anything, it helps you maneuver through certain things, but it never is alleviated. It never goes away. Chris Rock, what? He posted, what was it, like in a week? Maybe I'm saying this wrong, like a week or a month, he had been stopped by the cops so many times. And he's fucking Chris Rock. He's Chris Rock, man. Not only is he known to be a funny guy on the TV, but you know what I'm saying, he has money because, he's the funny guy on TV. He is funny. He has that humor. But still, doesn't matter his popularity status, he's still pulled over. Still pulled over just cause. That's the truth of it. Just cause. That's the reality of it, And another example, like I was going to say, I know y'all going to be like, this is the last thing I'm going to say. It's really cold out here, but I know y'all going to say, well, that's on TV. Nah, like I said, I just point out real life events where that mess still happens. And it is reality. Classic fresh